Make sure not to make this one mistake in the newest Arise crossover update. A new update has dropped, so without any further ado, let's cover everything that you need to know about the new update. First of all, we have some new systems implemented into the guild system, which is leveling now works, which the XP is based actually on the amount of dungeons you are clearing. So you basically want to make sure you're gonna do all the dungeons that you can to get your XP up for the guild. Now the XP has been fixed, but there currently is not really a way to use this in any way or form or whatsoever. So this is basically just for now a display thing where you can basically keep track of how well your guild is doing in like clearing all these dungeons. We also have a selection of new upgrades in the upgrades tab on your guild selection. You should honestly watch out for upgrading too much because people have already made this mistake, so please do not make this mistake yourself. What you should honestly be doing in this place, if you are at least like above like 1 QI gems in balance, you can boost your shadow boost of your guild to like around level 40 before it gets way too expensive and before your guild balance is gonna drain like massively. Of course, you already should have your more players already at the max level. Now, shadow range is honestly, you don't even really, you shouldn't even really go for this. Look at how expensive this already is at like level 6. So please avoid like upgrading this at all, beside like even beyond level 5. It doesn't seem really useful right now, but shadow slots is the one you should be saving for. This is gonna help your guildmates out the most. Now, the first upgrade is quite cheap, but as you can see, to get another shadow slot for all your guild members, it's gonna cost your guild 10 QI gems, which if you already know how long it takes to even farm enough to even get up to the balance of like 1 QI, which is like 3 or 4 days, then you can imagine how long 10 QI gems is gonna take, because we don't have a new update right now where we get more gems. So please do not make the mistake of buying all the other upgrades way too much. Stop at like level 36 to level 40 for shadow boost. Stop at around shadow range for like even, you don't even need to upgrade this at all. I would honestly not even like buy any upgrades for shadow range, but shadow slots is where it should be at. Like avoid anything else at that point, because getting 1 extra shadow will always be your best option. So make sure to save up your entire guild balance for this last upgrade. And those are all the new upgrades that got added to the guild system. So now that we've covered that, let's go into some other changes. Now in the shop we got a new mount bundle added, so without any further ado, let's buy the mount bundle with the tickets that we have and show you what the speed actually is of these new mounts. So as you can see, the orange tiger, which is classified as a premium mount, has a 90 ground speed, which is basically right now the fastest ground mount in the game. So let's make sure we equip that and let's actually see what it's like. Let's press our M button. So it's orange of color. It already feels pretty fast. So if you are doing like the gem farming tactic with the like going back and forth between the two brutes, this is coming in very useful. And then we also have the flying mount. So let's check out the orange dragon, which has a base speed of 170. So let's make sure we equip this one and let's see what it's like. Let's jump and press M, and there we go. We got a orange dragon, which I think is a it kind of looks like a reskin version of the blue dragon mount that we got from one of the codes, but it is certainly faster by like 20 base speed. So if you like faster mounts in a game, then make sure you get this mount bundle, which makes you, I think right now, the fastest in the game. So definitely take a look at that if you got enough tickets. Those are the 2 new mounts that got added to the shop, but we're not done yet. There's also a new game pass that they've added, which is the 2x drops chance, which increases your chance to get drops by a double amount. So that means weapons and dust. So not gems, because the gems will only be increased by the 2x gems game pass, but items only work on weapons and dust. So honestly, if you are like in a dust shortage, then you probably want to make sure you get this 2x drop chance if you're going to also be farming dungeons for getting rare dust, for example. And then we are going to move on to another section, which is the boost section. Now, you can also now buy potions in Arise Crossover, where you can get a gems potion, a cash potion, a XP potion, a drops potion, and a shadow potion. Now, if I have to be honest, right now at the place I am currently at, I would honestly just save up for all these drops potions if you are going to be farming dungeons for the rare dust drops to get a very good enchantment on your SS Reaper Scythe. Unless the next update is gonna increase our shadows damage by even more, and it's gonna outskill our weapon damage, then you probably also want to go for the shadow potion. And honestly, besides that, the gems potion would honestly be the best side option if you are gonna be farming to get one of the top guilds, for example. But there are now potions added, which of course you can also still buy with your tickets, so you don't have to spend Robux on these items. Make sure to always click this ticket shop and see if you have enough. Now, there is 2 new codes that you can use, and actually there's one really useful code that you should honestly use, but you can only use this if you are player rank S in the game, which is the code G0. Which, I mean, I already use this code, and you might already see when I summon my units that one of my zeros is actually a bit tiny. Hello! And that's because this G BERU Code gives you a very tiny free G0 unit, which doesn't really decrease its damage, it just is very tiny. So make sure you actually go and get this, because if you are still lacking G rank units, then getting this free code right now for getting a free G BERU unit, you probably should go for this. And there's one more code that you can use, which is the code potions, which gives you a few amount of potions. I use the potions code, so let's go into our items, and we get 3 cash boost potions, and we get 3 shadow potion boosts, increasing our cash by 50% for 10 minutes and increasing our shadow damage by 50% for 10 minutes. So make sure you also claim those, because those are freebies. Just some other small changes. If you don't have really disabled these cutscenes, they've introduced a intro cutscene and an Arise cutscene for all the dungeon bosses currently in the game. And what you probably might already also see is that we got different icons for all the islands that we currently have in the game, which is, this is the Lucky Kingdom Island, this is the Grass Village Island, this is the Solo Leveling Island, this is Brum Island, this is Chainsaw Man Island, or Nippon Town in this case, and we have Feisul, and of course we are currently on the Nippon City Island, which is the JoJo Island, as you can see by this very muscular man icon over here. Furthermore, if you are now in a dungeon, there is going to be a top text displaying right here which room you are currently in of each dungeon, which really helps to track at how far away you are currently from getting to the dungeon boss, which should honestly give you either hope or a big depression depending on what you're doing. Now, this really helps for the player ranked dungeons. I'm pretty sure they were always 20 rooms, but honestly, it should give you a good indication of how close you are to getting your new player rank. They improved the DPS counter, and they also improved the damage pop-up. So let's actually just go over to a unit and show you what it's like. Now, I hope I'm not gonna one-shot one of the units, so let's not even auto-attack ourselves. But honestly, you can now basically see these damage numbers much clearer on the units you're attacking. And there's also now an improved DPS counter here on the right side of your screen. Furthermore, they have done some fixes. So they have fixed a guild donation bug issue. And what's also very important to note with this is that now guilds basically only work on a total amount of donated from all the people in your guild. So you cannot do the entire rotation strategy anymore. It doesn't work, because it's working based on the amount of donated that people have done in your guild. So this total up will now amount to the amount of that you see displayed here. And as you can see, a lot of guilds are now actually very close to each other. So if you were trying to aim for the top spot, then you also want to make sure you go ahead and try to get one of the top guilds. Now that you have to actually work together with all of your current guild members, and you cannot go through this entire rotation strategy again. Which honestly, what do you guys think of this? I think this is a better change, because I already sensed this was gonna happen. We, of course, tested out the entire rotation thing on a stream on Saturday, how crazy it is. But as you can now see, they already addressed it and changed it fully. Now we have a Pasta guild on top of the leaderboard, which is, I mean, 2.39 QI is actually not that crazy anymore when we saw previously when people had 5 or 4 QI in total, which means that the amount of gems that you now see here were massively reduced. And you could also kind of see which all the guilds that were doing all the rotation stuff. All right, that's about the entire guild donation and leaderboard thing. they have addressed some gifting issues in the shop, and they fixed inventory not updating when using items. So there will be more features coming to the guild. So of course, we're not only getting these upgrades anymore, it's gonna like expand way more beyond this because they now have this system in place. And they're of course also probably gonna do something with this level system in here that you can see, which maybe they'll make it so like you have to be level 20 to get another member added to your guild, for example. We'll have to wait for that. And that's currently all what we've been going on to. Now, to give you guys a little update of where we are right now, I have a SS Reaper scythe, but to be honest, I have been kind of grinding the AFK room to get more dust because we have not gotten lucky with this at all. I will upload a video of me doing this entire SS process as well, getting to this SS Reaper scythe, because man, it was pain trying to enchant this. I had like 770 rare dust, and yeah, that's kind of all gone right now, as you can see. So we're still AFKing in the AFK room, and I mean, look at our G Beru team. I've gotten like 2 G Berus from like AFKing over the last 8 hours that I've done. I don't even know if I'm like supposed to be like surprised anymore. Remember, the rate of getting these are still like buffed, so getting a G Beru in the AFK room is now 0.2% because of the 2x event. So make sure you also use that to your advantage, because the only units that are now still better than a G Beru currently is a N rank Monarch. And that's still one of the units that we still have to wait for and actually get one, which will be awesome. I can't wait to cover it if we actually got it. So hopefully we get it soon. But until then, your best team will still consist probably eventually of all G Berus. And of course, we got some of the normal SS level units of Jojo Island because we needed to expand our slots, and they are still better currently than a normal G Beru. And that's it. That's everything that happened in the latest update in Arise Crossover. Now, if you liked this video, then make sure to leave a like, subscribe, turn on the notification bell, and I will see you in a next new Roblox video or live stream. Have a fantastic guild advancing journey.